I've been asked to cover this one. This is regarding the brother who won a large sum of money, a very, very large sum of money, between, 26 million was the official figure. That's how much he won on the lottery. However, as they say, money doesn't always, money doesn't always solve problems. And in this case, it led to him being, unalived, as it were. But anyway, it's just the story of, just briefly touching on Abraham Lee Shakespeare, who won 26 million on the lottery. Yes, it's a long time ago, but for some reason it's resurfaced. Obviously now with the advent of the social media being what it is, a lot of people are looking back now, looking back at obviously, things that have come up. And basically I remember this story. I remember it as well because some of you may be familiar with, is it Ray William Johnson? The guy that does those videos and says until. Yeah, him. Ray William Johnson. Yeah, look up Ray William Johnson Shakespeare because he covers this. You know what I mean? It covers it very well. But anyway, back to this story. Basically, what we have here is Abraham Shakespeare, who won £26 million, but was then found unalived and buried in a friend's garden. So basically, he won the lottery in 2006, a while back, but 2 years later, he was found deceased, buried under a slab of concrete in a garden by a woman convicted of his unaliving. Now, let me quickly skirt through this, okay? Abraham Shakespeare could not believe his luck when he scooped a massive 26 lottery jackpot. Just this joy turned into grief, and 2 years later, he was found buried beneath a concrete slab in a friend's back garden. The 43-year-old from Florida was delighted to collect his 30 million prize publicly. Okay? Abraham, described as a gentle soul, had scraped through life, I guess, doing casual work, driving rubbish trucks, cutting hair at barber shops, and so forth before he won the lottery. But the thing was, obviously, he won the lottery. But as we know, in some cases, some people aren't always ready for that. So, he won the lottery, confessed to a family member, which, okay, fair enough. He confessed to a family member, but at the same time said he would have been better off broke. To read into that what you will. So obviously, he won the lottery, but then people start taking advantage of him. A lot of it was to do with the fact that he wasn't literate, and B, wasn't also financially literate as well. So he had all these hangers on, and people come into his life and take the pee, and that's what happened, and got to a point now where his money was running low. So he brought in someone to handle his finances. Okay. Like it says here, I thought all these people were my friends, but then I realized all they want is money. There you go. So his concerns were devastatingly proven accurate, and he apparently encountered a Doris Donegan Moore, nicknamed Dee Dee, who he met after his win. Apparently she made out she was an accountant. Whether she was or not is another story. But to cut the story short, she obviously met him and told him she wanted to write a biography of his experiences. He being himself, being trusting, obviously, layer into his life. But the fact is, she too was solely after his fortune. And it seemed a little while afterwards, she took on his financial aspects, a financial advisory position for him. That would be Abraham. And obviously, from what I gather, she started with good intentions, but she herself got greedy. And yeah, according to this, records demonstrated Dee Dee's company, American Medical Professionals, brought Shakespeare's home for $655,000. That'd be her buying his place, but obviously with his money, I presume. Okay? And not only that, but she established a business, granting herself permission to approve expenditures, including a $1 million deal. And obviously, basically, cut the story short, she was obviously in control of his funds. Okay? Then it got to the point where, in the end, according to Ray Johnson's version, she unalived him and basically had his body buried. Yeah, that is that version. This version here, going with this, same thing, but breaking it down differently. Family members were concerned where he was. She texted, obviously, family members. She texted them back saying that he was laying low because people were harassing him for money. But then investigators got involved. I think the family got investigators involved. And obviously, it transpired that she obviously had a way and a scheme where she was just texting people. In the end, they just cottoned on. And yeah, they cottoned on that, that she was behind not only taking his money, but taking his life. So, yeah. In a nutshell, he was found deceased in 2010, concealed under the concrete in the back garden of a house previously bought by Moore. Upon questioning, she initially denied murdering Shakespeare, blaming it on drug dealers instead. But yeah, the police know, don't they? And her ex-husband gave her up as well. I remember that. Her ex-husband said blatantly that she roped him in and asked to borrow or get hold of an operating machine to dig a hole in the back garden and to fill it in after dark, which he did, unaware that there was a body underneath. And lo and behold, that body was Abraham Shakespeare. And that's from there, they just broke it down. And in the end, now she's serving life imprisonment with no parole. And yeah, that's that. Apparently she's still asserting her innocence, but it is what it is. Is what it is. That's what I'm saying. Again, some of you mans have to be financially literate, Furthermore, some of the key rules, the key tenets. Don't tell people your business. Don't tell people how much money you're holding. You know what I mean? Maybe in this case, he confided in someone and word got out. But two twos, don't tell no one nothing. Don't do it. All right then, later.